I mean, this is total disrespect. How can he talk about our religion like that? And look at these rock formations. You can see it's like castles carved into the mountains. After just 2 days and 2 weird experiences, I think I can safely say this might be my least favorite country yet. There was an earthquake, and because of that, a massive landslide happened in the mountains. The water that used to flow through a river from these mountains, it got completely blocked because of the landslide. So now all that water just pooled into this valley, just filled it up. And while all that's happening, this guy's casually throwing shade at my religion and country, way below the belt. They've got these taxis that take you right up, mostly arranged by tour companies, basically for people who don't want to hike. I've been to more than 120 countries, but the place I truly faced racism is just a 3-hour flight from my home, right here in Kazakhstan. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new morning coming to you straight from Kazakhstan, the largest country in Central Asia and the largest landlocked country in the world. I'm in Almaty right now, the biggest city in Kazakhstan. The capital is Astana, which is actually the second largest. We're here in Almaty, and if I sound like I'm in a rush, it's because I am. It's almost 5 a.m. right now, and we've got a tour booked at exactly 5:10. We're heading out to see some of the most famous lakes near Almaty, like Kolsai Lake and Kaindy Lake. These two lakes are part of the same day tour, and yep, we've signed up for it. But this isn't our first try. We actually booked the same tour yesterday at 5 a.m. and missed it. So yeah, we paid twice. Miss it again today, and it's a huge loss. So we're in a bit of a hurry right now. It's 5 o'clock now, we've got 10 minutes. Let's get going. Woke up in a total rush this morning, barely slept for like 2 hours. We didn't even wake up properly with the alarm, just jumped out of bed, showered quick, locked up the apartment and ran downstairs. Now, we are finally in the taxi. By the way, it's been almost a week since I got here, and honestly, this city is stunning. Look ahead, you can actually see the mountains right from the streets. If the sky is clear, those views hit different. The days are super long here during summer, like the sun starts coming up around 3 a.m. Even when we went to sleep, it was already starting to get light outside. Fingers crossed, we're on time today. We already paid for the tour yesterday but missed it. This morning, we ended up paying double, missed it again, and took a huge loss. What a miserable life. By the way, the lake towns we're headed to today, they're actually pretty far from Almaty, like around 300 kilometers away. That's why we had to start early. It's a full round trip, out now, back tonight. We'll visit some stunning lakes and a canyon. I'll share more about the canyon once we're there, just hoping we get there. Once we reach the pickup spot, it'll finally feel real. There's a circus somewhere nearby. Our meeting point is just 50 meters away from here in the circus parking lot, so should be somewhere close by. Look at those mountains right in front. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Pretty scenic. We're definitely close now. You can almost feel the adventure starting. Our driver's going super slow. Fair enough, he's just being careful. No one wants to risk getting a fine or a ticket this early in the day. By the way, this guy, our driver, he's actually pretty solid, super decent. And I'll be honest, not everyone in Kazakhstan is like that. Let me explain. Some drivers or taxi folks here can be shady. I'll talk more about that later in detail, but some stuff's just off here, no cap. But to be fair, there are some really good people too. There it is, bro. Looks like we made it on time. That has to be our bus. I think we're good. Feels just like those early school trips, rushing but excited. And I even see a few Indians here too. Definitely giving those classic school trip vibes. Just like back in the day, running last minute, half awake but super pumped. Rahmat, brother, Rahmat. Thank you. Alright, let's go. Shakti, we're here, man. Run. Grab a seat. They're not even letting people on yet.
Look at this. We're all just waiting here. There's a huge line already.
Right now, we're just waiting for our turn. The line's getting packed. Hey, Shakti, get in line properly. Come on. Our bus is gonna go all the way to Shamil. In Hindi, it means being part of something, but here it doesn't feel like we are. Anyway. Alright, let's get going. Finally made it, bro. Come on. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, but whatever. Just gotta roll with it. Look at this. Got stuck without a seat, and all the seats in front were already taken. This was the last row left, and there were 2 rows next to each other. So I said, if I gotta sit at the back, I might as well do it properly. But yeah, now we're stuck in the potholes, bro. This is gonna be one hell of a ride. Here we go, guys. No way the tour's getting missed today. Finally, we're here. What time is it?
The tour started right at 5:15.
Wait a minute. Check out this photo. Where's it from?
Bombay, Taj Palace.
Taj Palace Hotel. How did you even end up there?
Someone just randomly called me over. Just like that.
So, the driver just stopped midway and took a quick smoke break. He stopped earlier and then just stopped again. 5:10 turned into 5:31 now. I'll be honest, it feels like we should have come yesterday instead. See, it's got 5:31. They kept us waiting so long, but finally we're moving. We're actually leaving now.
Локация тоже не имеется никакого банкомата. Так что обязательно на первой санитарной остановке вам надо будет взять с собой наличные деньги с банкомата. Okay, dear tourists, good morning. My name is Altana. Yes, sorry. My name is Altana and I am your tour guide for today.
They just told us in English that even with the delay, we've reached our first stop. We're visiting 3 places: Charyn Canyon, Kolsai Lake, and Kaindy Lake. First stop is Charyn Canyon, about 2.5 hours from here. Before that, we'll make 2 short stops. The first is just 10 to 15 minutes outside the city. This is the only ATM on the route. No ATMs ahead, so withdraw cash now. If you want snacks or food, get them here. There won't be many options later. You'll find food, but no cash machines. Also, no network coverage at the lakes or canyon, so make sure you're fully ready before we go. They really stress, be on time. Don't be late. We leave at 6 o'clock sharp from here. It's now 5:44. Once we're back, I'll tell you more about Almaty, the canyons, and the lakes. There's a Burger King here at the petrol pump. Just ahead, there is a supermarket called Express Market. They told us not to leave stuff with them. Carry your own bags. You're responsible. Their currency is the Kazakh tenge. 1 tenge is worth less than an Indian rupee. For example, 1 USD approximately equals 510 tenge. 1 Indian rupee is approximately 5.94 tenge, almost 6. We withdrew 50,000 tenge. That's less than 9,000 rupees. Here we got 50,000 Kazakh tenge and around 8,500 Indian rupees has been deducted from my account. Got myself the cheaper one. How much is the expensive one? Oh, this one's 600 tenge. No, wait. 400 tenge? That's like 80 rupees per liter. Not cheaper than this, huh? There's a bigger one for 460 or 465 tenge. Get the big one. Grabbed some coffee, but here's the bad news. I forgot to take my card out of the machine. And within 2 minutes, the card was gone. Guys, after that, we had to get moving. It was already 6:16 or maybe 6:20 by the time the bus finally started rolling. They had said the bus would leave sharp at 6 o'clock, so we rushed, hit the ATM, withdrew money, grabbed some food. But in all the hurry, I left my ATM card in the machine. Same thing happened to me in China last August. I left my card there too and never got it back. Even went all the way back to the airport to check, but no luck that time either. This time I noticed it quickly and tried to explain everything to the supermarket staff nearby. I translated it into Russian, told them the card was stuck in the ATM and hoped they'd understand. They didn't really get what I meant, so I went to our guide and explained it to her. Instead, I said, I don't want anyone to be late because of me. Just go ahead without me. By then, it was already past 6 o'clock. No one stayed back. I really just wanted to make sure the bus left on time. But I told them, if you get the card back later or come here again, just let me know. I'll help. Our guide was really sweet. She went inside, called the bank's customer care, and even contacted the ATM company to try and fix it. She stayed calm the whole time and kept trying. Honestly, I didn't expect her to go that far, but I don't think anything came of it in the end. So we came back to the bus. I told her, forget it, I'm not holding everyone up. Didn't want people thinking, oh, Indians are never punctual. Felt a bit bad, but what could I do? I sat back on the bus. The windows were dirty too, so couldn't even enjoy the views much. My plan was to grab snacks and a few things from the market, but all I ended up getting was that one coffee. Everything else had to be left behind in the rush. Still, grateful the guide tried so much, she really went above and beyond. Alright, the next bus stop is about 2 hours away, so let's talk about Kazakhstan's geography in the meantime. If we look at the world's biggest countries, we start with Russia, then Canada, China, the US, Brazil, and Australia, all massive. That makes 6. The 7th largest is India. After India, the next biggest country is Argentina, and then comes Kazakhstan. Yeah, Kazakhstan is a pretty big country. It's the largest in Central Asia and the 9th largest in the world. It's also the largest landlocked country in the world. I'll explain landlocked later. Kazakhstan's area is 2.7 million square kilometers. That's 27 lakh square kilometers. India is 3.1 million square kilometers. So Kazakhstan is a bit smaller than India. But when it comes to population, Kazakhstan has only about 20 million people. So it's a huge country with a population of just 20 million. If we compare it to Rajasthan, the biggest state in India, Kazakhstan is 8 times bigger in area, but its population is 4 times smaller than Rajasthan's. That means there's a lot more open space and far fewer people. So you can imagine Kazakhstan is one of the least densely populated countries or territories in the world. There's so much empty land that large areas look untouched by humans. Because of that, the landscape feels vast and wide open. That means when you're there, you'll mostly see Grasslands, deserts, mountains, rivers, and lakes. Alright, so that was a quick look at Kazakhstan, the country. Now let's talk about its cities. Astana is their capital city and the second largest city of Kazakhstan. It's in the north. I'll share whatever I remember about it. It's up north. Astana has under 1.5 million people, which honestly isn't much considering how big the country is. It also makes Astana the second largest city in Kazakhstan after Almaty. For comparison, Delhi, India's capital, has 30 million. Astana has just a few millions. In 2018, it was even less. Back then, it was 11 to 12 lakh. Now, talking about Almaty, which is down south, but it's bigger than Astana in terms of population. Also, Almaty has about 2 million people, making it the largest city in the country. So yeah, even the largest city in this massive country has just about 20 lakh people. Almaty is more influential, more international, more cosmopolitan, and definitely more touristy. And their airport, Almaty Airport, is also the busiest one. It handles close to 9 to 10 million passengers a year. Most tourists come through Almaty, which is often called the southern capital. Actually, Almaty was the original capital of Kazakhstan back in the Soviet days. You know the USSR, right? The Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. When Kazakhstan was part of the USSR, Almaty was the capital. Even after the USSR dissolved in 91, Almaty remained the capital until 1997. Then the capital was shifted to Akmola, which is the old name for what we now call Astana. Later, Astana was renamed Nur Sultan for a while, but then the name was changed back to Astana. This series of changes reflects both Kazakhstan's evolving political landscape and its efforts to shape a distinct national identity after independence. So, why is the city called Almaty? Well, here's the reason. In the local language, Alma means apple, so Almaty basically means place of apples. The city got its name because the apples we eat today, the modern varieties, actually originated from this region. The species of apples found here are the closest to what we eat now. That's a pretty cool fact about Almaty. In fact, some scientists believe that Almaty could be considered the ancestral home of the domesticated apple. Now, a bit about the city itself and Astana. Both are quite developed. The cities are well planned, very organized. Even though Almaty is a big city, everything's really tidy. You won't find trash lying around. Traffic is quite organized too. The views are beautiful. Mountains are visible from many parts of the city. There are dedicated pedestrian paths if you want to walk. If you saw my previous video from about a week ago, the roads even have grass growing along the sidewalks, with small fountains watering them regularly. Most people here follow the rules, so it's a nice place to explore. Despite being so close to nature, the city is very modern. You'll see big buildings, a skyline, and plenty of business centers too. We finally left the city. Charyn Canyon is still about an hour to an hour and a half away. I've already shared the main geography and science stuff earlier. Now it's just about enjoying the ride and learning as we go. Honestly, the bus windows aren't clean, which is annoying. But it is what it is. We're starting to see small roadside cafes, little villages and towns are showing up too. I had only been in the city for the past week. This is my first time seeing rural Kazakhstan. I'll be in the country for a few more days, so I'll definitely see more of these landscapes. But yeah, stepping out of the city feels different. Guys, it's been over 2 hours since we left Almaty. We've lost mobile signal somewhere along the way. And as you can see, the terrain is getting more mountainous. I really wish the bus guys had cleaned the windows. It would have made a big difference. At least we could have enjoyed the views properly. They're not even stopping anywhere. Otherwise, I would have cleaned the window myself. But anyway, we saw nothing but endless grasslands. Like I said, it's a super empty country. You won't see much, just open space. In those grasslands, we saw horses grazing, just like cows or goats in India's open fields. Here, it's horses roaming and feeding freely. I couldn't capture most of it on video. Either I noticed too late or the window ruined the shot. But I think we're pretty close to Charyn Canyon now, probably just another 45 minutes or so till we get there. Alright, it's exactly 8:20 now. The bus has finally stopped again. We left the city 2 hours ago. This is only our second stop. They said we'll be here for 25 minutes. Oh, and make sure to carry cash. The bathrooms here aren't free. Yep, you gotta pay to pee. Last time we stopped, I didn't eat. I left my card in the ATM. So this time, I'm grabbing snacks for sure. And yeah, finally cleaning this window. I can reach it. I'm tall enough. I'll just jump and get it done. Let's go. Gotta take some advantage of my height. Hey, watch this. Yup, that did it. The window had dust and grime, but now it's so much better. Bro, it looks amazing now. Crystal clear. Feels like 4K HD views from here. Finally. Honestly, we should charge the others. We'll clean their windows too. Maybe we'll get a tip. Now let's see what all this stuff is. Snacks or whatever. They're selling things for like 250 tenge, 150 tenge. I have no idea what half of this even is. What's this? No idea. Seriously, I can't tell what's what. Some of these looks like those sugar candies found in Indian stores. Over there, they've got ice cream. The rates for ice creams are like the small ones about 500 tenge, then 800 tenge, and the big ones 1. They've got waffles and other snacks. Our tour guide came by, really sweet. She said, "Your card will be returned in 10 days. I told her, well, I've already blocked it. By then, I'll have a new one sent to my home in India. Now I'll just ask someone to bring it along. They can carry it when they fly in. Right here, there's this little supermarket kind of setup. They've got water, chips, and some other stuff. Let's see if anything's actually useful here. Shakti, where are the sandwiches? Oh, look, fruits. Of course, apples. These guys are famous for their apples. It wouldn't be Kazakhstan without a bunch of apples on display. Shakti, did you know the apples we eat around the world today? They actually originated from here, from Almaty. This whole region around the Tian Shan mountains is where it all started. Literally, the global apple's ancestor came from right here in Kazakhstan. And you know what? Almaty literally translates to father of apples. Alright, we got a kilo of apples. They call them Alma here. That's where the name Almaty comes from. Fresh local apples grown in the mountains. Only 1000 tenge, which is about $2 US. Same price as one ice cream. There were sandwiches too, but this should do for now. By the way, out here in the grasslands of Kazakhstan, using the bathroom cost 100 tenge, which is like $0.19 US. Not bad, honestly. At least they haven't gone full Europe on us, where they charge you like €1 or €1.50 just to pee. Check this out. These are some of the local homes around here. The people living out in these grasslands, this is the kind of housing you'll usually see in these villages. That's our bus parked over there on the highway. And you can see everyone's just hanging out, some grabbing snacks, some smoking, some having ice cream, and some just waiting for the bus to get going again. We're about to dig into these apples from the Tian Shan mountains, aka the famous Alma apples. Let's rinse them off real quick. They're gonna hit the spot. They look super fresh with that perfect crunchy feel. The apples we eat today, the modern kind, this is the closest match. It all started here. Apples came from this region. Hey, spill some water. A few more buses have stopped ahead, and I'm guessing they're all heading towards Charyn Canyon. You can see the mountains right nearby, beautiful views all around. Since we've stopped, let me share more about this area's geography. This region is near the China border and part of the Tian Shan range. Kazakhstan, as I mentioned, is an entirely landlocked country. To the north and west, it shares its border with Russia. If you look to the east, you will find China. And to the southeast, there's Kyrgyzstan, which is not too far from here. To the south lies Uzbekistan, and to the southwest is Turkmenistan. Now, you might be wondering how Kazakhstan is landlocked when it also borders the Caspian Sea. Well, the Caspian Sea is not actually a sea in the true sense. It has no outflowing rivers and is completely landlocked. Nor does it connect to any ocean. It is essentially a large lake. Because of this, Kazakhstan is considered an entirely landlocked country. So, if we talk about the people here, the demographics and ethnicity, most of the folks in Kazakhstan are Kazakh, like over 70%. Then you've got around 18% Russians. After that, there are Uzbeks and roughly 1 to 2% Ukrainians. Then there's a mix of other ethnic groups like Uyghurs, who originally come from China, Tatars, Germs, and a bunch of smaller minorities too. Now, when it comes to religion, most people here, I'd say about 75 to 80% are Sunni Muslims. So yeah, it's predominantly a Muslim country. Then there's about 15% Christians, mostly Russian Orthodox. Talking about language, officially it's Kazakh. But honestly, most people speak fluent Russian and usually just use Russian for everyday conversations. From what I saw in Almaty, this big city, people mostly speak Russian, and you might find some English here and there since it's kinda cosmopolitan. But if you go to smaller towns or villages, forget about English. Most people won't understand it. Even Kazakh is spoken mostly in small towns and villages. And in the big cities, Russian is the main formal language. Signs, menus, and announcements are in both Kazakh and Russian. But most people speak Russian. Alright, folks. 8:45 now. They said we'd leave around this time. Yeah, it's almost 8:44. Let's get going. Shakti is my brother. He's been on a bunch of trips with me, like Ethiopia, Egypt, back in 2019. Where else did we go?
We went to Bali. It was a memorable one.
Yeah, it was great. And after that, just India trip.
Back in India only.
So about 10 to 15 more people were supposed to come, but they haven't shown up yet. They're waiting here too, through some other tour company, arriving soon, and they're saying they won't let us stay too long at the lake because we're already running late. Alright, if they make us wait, it's gonna mess up our whole evening, but oh well, no choice. Looks like we gotta wait a bit more. Some folks are still on their way. Check out the window, it's like full HD now. Looks like the other group that's supposed to be with us on the bus is somewhere around here. Those folks seem Turkish, maybe even Greek, not really sure. We'll probably get to chat with them later and find out where they're from. The bus is packed now, so come on, grab your seat. What were you saying?
It's been a while. The guide is giving instructions for a very long time now.
So, what's your point?
I mean, if I could speak this much good, I would have definitely won an election back in India.
So true, imagine one has this kind of a skill. Genuinely amazing. Got the window cleaned, and just then it started raining outside. We got to be back here by 11 a.m. and right now it's 9:30 in the morning. We will be staying here for 1.5 hours. Man, the crowd's really thinned out. Barely anyone around just a few minutes ago. Alright, let's move. Wait, the crowd's doubled now. People are suddenly everywhere. I was supposed to bring an umbrella, definitely should have brought it with me. So many people have shown up at the canyon, it almost looks like there's going to be a hunger strike or some kind of protest. Just look at this massive crowd. It's way more packed than I expected. People are everywhere, lining up, taking photos, finding spots to sit. Shakti, are you excited for the journey ahead?
Yes, yes.
Go to the Charyn River or see the Valley of Castle. It will be from parking place to go to the Charyn River or see the Valley of Castle. It will be 2.5 kilometers by this road. It's like you should go by a walk for about 30 minutes. You should go slowly down, and after, when we go back, it will be more harder because we slowly go back. Okay, and it's depends on you.
It's like 30 minutes one way, so back and forth it's gonna be an hour.
Yeah, but if you go back,
Yeah.
it will be more harder because we slowly go up. Now we slowly go down.
Okay, it's a decline right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we don't have taxis because we are really early tourists, and if we have taxi, I will tell you the under of the river. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will go with you.
They gave us two options. First, we can go check out the Valley of Castles, which is a famous spot here in this canyon. I'll explain what this canyon actually is, what the Charyn River is, all that later. The second option is to hit two panoramic viewpoints nearby, one's about 15 minutes away, and then the next one's another 15 minutes past that. From those spots, you get a killer view of the Charyn River and the whole canyon. After that, we head back. The main spot, Valley of Castles, is about half an hour from here, but we'll reach there pretty quick since it's downhill. Coming back will take longer though, maybe around 40 to 45 minutes. So round trip will easily take like 1.5 hours. And honestly, there won't be much time left to spend there. They said right, we'll leave from here after 1.5 hours, around 11 or 11:10. It's 9:42 now. Check out this view of the canyon though. Shakti, listen to me. This guy just told the whole story in Russian. I'll explain it to you now so you can follow along. So here's how he put it. What to see and what not to, where to walk and where to be careful. But first, let me tell you, see this? This area is basically a canyon. So this area we have here, you can look, is called canyon. Now we are heading to
Charyn Canyon.
could have been our last step. So right now we're at the Charyn Canyon, and let me tell you, it is one of the most stunning natural wonders of Kazakhstan. Got it? This place is often called the Grand Canyon of Central Asia. Now, of course, you've probably heard of the Grand Canyon in the US, where the Colorado River flows right through it. And this is kind of this Central Asia's version of that. Let me quickly explain what a canyon actually is. Over millions of years, when a river or water body keeps flowing through a rocky terrain, it slowly carves out deep valleys with super steep rock walls on either side. This whole process is called erosion. And erosion isn't just from water, it can happen because of wind or even ice over thousands or millions of years. Bit by bit, the rocks wear down, crack open, and take on wild new shapes. So yeah, that's how canyons are formed. Nature literally cuts through mountains. Right now, there's no river flowing here anymore, but millions of years ago, the Charyn River used to pass right through this exact path. That's why it's called Charyn Canyon. Now, not every canyon still has water in it. Some do, some don't. Even the Grand Canyon in the US, only parts of it have the Colorado River running through. And you can actually see the evidence of it. These dramatic rock cuts, steep cliffs, all shaped by flowing water over time. These shapes form. The Charyn River originates in the Tian Shan Mountains near the Kyrgyzstan border and winds through southeastern Kazakhstan before eventually feeding into the Ili River. Even today, its waters remain vital, not just for shaping the terrain, but also for the surrounding ecology. It's lined with rare vegetation and even supports one of the last remaining groves of Sogdian ash trees dating back to the Ice Age, found in what's known as the Charyn Ash Grove, not far from
Alright,
here.
Professor, got it.
Standing here, you can almost hear the ghost of that ancient in the silence of these rocks. Imagine centuries of storms, floods, and calm trickles, each slowly carving the gorge deeper, layer by layer. And now we walk through what's left behind, a breathtaking scar on the land that tells a story older than any of us. Just imagine, place we're walking through right now used to have tons of water flowing through it. And now it's all dried up, just rocks and pebbles beneath our feet. This whole place actually reminds me of Petra in Jordan. I went there too. And while Petra is more of an ancient city with rock-cut architecture, there's definitely a similar vibe here. In fact, even Shakti asked me, wait, haven't you already seen something like this before? And I told him yes, but it's pretty different. Now listen, Shakti, try to guess how long this canyon is. Just throw a random number. In meters or acres? What do you reckon? Just give me an idea. Come on.
70 or 80 kilometers maybe.
80 kilometers. Not even close, bro. It's on a whole different scale. But yeah, you're halfway there. The Charyn Canyon is 96 miles long. Its red rock formations, steep cliffs, and these curvy winding paths makes it very unique. Feels like you're literally walking through a movie set. Like Indiana Jones could pop out at any second. Walking through here feels surreal. Literally feels like I'm the protagonist of some adventure saga. I mean, seriously, look at that. That said, it's a killer place for hiking, photography, or a little adventure if that's your vibe. We're going downhill at the moment, quite easy thus far. But yeah, that uphill hike is gonna hit different. And let me tell you, my shoes are built for this. Gonna make it way less painful. Shout out to A6. I'm wearing my favorite Kayano 14S. Honestly, I always lean toward A6 for all my trips. They recently sent over a few of my favorite pairs too. So heartfelt and massive thanks to A6 India. Genuinely means a lot. I'd 100% recommend these to everyone. Were you saying something?
I was just wondering, does the guide ever get bored of this view and repeating same story again and again? Yo, picture this. Water starts flowing out of nowhere.
Nah bro, I've got a whole list of countries to cover. I don't want to end my journey here. Speaking of water, this is a place where a river flowed millions of years ago. Today it's dust and diesel. Trucks everywhere. Alright folks, we've made it to the Valley of Castles. Like harder possible to do then this spot is one of the most famous parts of Charyn Canyon. And once you look around, it's pretty obvious why these rock formations legit look like castles. Crazy place. Just look at how massive these cliffs are on both sides. You can almost picture the force of that ancient water. Must have been wild to carve valleys this deep. There's echo here. Hello? My voice is echoing.
We've got the whole world listening right now.
Shout something.
I think there's a group behind us. Hope we're not messing with their peace.
Nah, it's not like that. We're just messing around with the echo. Pretty normal tourist stuff.
अरे ओ आज पूरा व्लॉग हरियाणवी में ही कर देंगे ना 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 लोग आके समझ में आनी चाहिए अपनी बात सारी only English okay global audience so that tour guide happened to be talking to us right now and she described that their national do you know what the national dish is called in Kazakhstan it's called bishaurma and she recommended a couple of places to us where we can go and try the national food of Kazakhstan. And then she also mentioned that horse milk and camel milk is quite a popular thing here in this country. It's a bit sour and happens to be rich in iron, so we definitely got to try this out.
It was fun.
Mad respect, bro.
Baburshak and Beshbarmak. Our guide said these are staples of traditional Kazakh cuisine. She even recommended 2 local restaurants nearby that serve them authentically. Beshbarmak, in particular, is usually quite meat heavy, and yep, that often means horse meat. In Kazakhstan and across Central Asia, like Kyrgyzstan and Mongolia, horse meat is a major part of the food culture. They even drink horse milk. We'll probably try the milk, I don't know about the meat. Shakti, carve the name of the love of your life into the rocks, make it eternal. Come on, don't waste the moment. Wait, let me do it for you.
Naam.
SH right at the top for my homeboy Shakti. And on the bottom, nothing, because there's no one for you, bro.
Sorry. Alone but happy. Only brotherhood.
And you know what they say? If you ever see someone walking around with an umbrella when it's not raining, they're probably from China. Another guess. Can you tell what language they were speaking?
Chinese.
Whoa, look at you, learning quick, my boy. We can hear flowing water too. Guessing the river's just around the corner.
Tommy?
He's gonna crack you open, bro. And here we are, finally at the Charyn River. This is the river that carved out all these stunning views you're seeing around the canyon. Hey, here you are.
Tommy?
Watch out, Shakti. He is not friendly with you. Alright, we've seen the river. Now, time to hike back up to where our bus is parked. It's a bit of a trek uphill, but it's gotta be done. That's the bathroom. Pretty sleek if you ask me.
And you will waiting the taxi for about 1 hour. Don't filming me!
The guide gave the signal to head out and our group started moving. Right then, she told politely, don't film me. Telling us all, time is ticking. Those vans over there are for the no-hike crowd. Tour companies use them to drive straight into the canyon. It's like a private shuttle just for this area. Finally made it all the way to uphill. After 40 minutes of struggle, we're at the stairs. And the timing was good as we are advised to leave soon. Funny thing is, it only took us 30 minutes to get here, but the uphill battle took 40, even with a 5 to 7 minute break. But still, we move fast, like really fast. We're sweating buckets, heading back to the bus now. We were told the bus would leave at 11:10. It's already past that. We overtook half the group on the way up. They're still down there somewhere. Even the guide hasn't made it back yet. We've now stopped at another location, Black Canyon. Let's go. Shakti just said, a hookah here would hit different. We're only stopping here for a few minutes before we head straight to Lake Kolsay, which is like 60 to 70 kilometers away from here. This Black Canyon honestly isn't that special. I mean, we just saw a much more impressive one. It's called black simply because the rocks here have a darker tone. That's literally it. He took pics of Shakti. I guess he will ask for a few bucks now.
Where are you from? I'm from India. India. Delhi, Mumbai, Kerala.
Kerala. Kerala.
Kerala?
Kerala. He's from Mexico.
Canada, bro.
Canada.
Shakti, ask him, is he really from Mexico?
No, I don't think so.
Because he doesn't really look like the way he speaks. Our guide is crystal clear. Do not cross the safety line. It's dangerous. You slip, you fall, you die. Simple. And then we spot a swing. Yep, a literal swing, dangling right at the edge of the cliff. By the way, there have been a bunch of stories lately about how risky these adventure sports can be. That's why I'm a little freaked out. He's asking way too many questions. Shakti, he's about to ask you out, bro. This is literally the game of death. Takes you straight to the heaven. You want to ride?
Huh?
Come on. Let's get to the real thrill now.
How much for this? 3,000.
It's 13,000 Kazakh tenge, around 25 US dollars.
10 minutes. No, we don't even have 10 minutes.
He's asking 13,000 tenge for a 10-minute ride. That's around 25 bucks. But the thing is, we don't even have 10 minutes. Anyway, I'm not even into these so-called life-altering rides. Let it go. The ride guy called me over. I'm giving you a discount, but who's gonna break it? We don't even have time. And it's still pricey. I think we better grab something to eat instead. They've got a traditional clay oven set up here. Smoke's already rising and it smells amazing. Pretty sure that's the tea brewing here, and over there, a clay oven doing its thing. I think he sprinkled some lemon on this cone. 1,000 tenge for one. My hand's literally fuming how hot it is. And now our bus driver's honking, calling us back. You can see there's more stuff inside the store too. But anyway, it's time to go. This is how classic Kazakh towns look, quiet, traditional, and tucked into the landscape. We're passing through a few as we drive on. The scenery flipped full 180. Deserts and canyons are gone. And now we're surrounded by rich green mountain ranges. Stunning stuff. Look at those shades of green. It's like a full spectrum laid out in front of us. The grass and trees on the mountains, deep, rich, and bold. Then on the sides of the road, you've got this soft yellowish green that gently fades into the landscape as we keep cruising through. It's absolutely magnificent. And those little houses are cherry on top. Check out the horses. People here domesticate them instead of cows or buffalo. This is just beautiful. Pure countryside all around with mountains rising in the background. Notice carefully. Every household has a few horses just hanging out in the yard. After cruising through those beautiful mountains and traditional Kazakh towns, we finally reached the next stop on our journey. From here, we have to ditch the big bus and switch to smaller vans. The road ahead's way too rough and narrow for this beast. And of course, just when I was about to grab a cool photo with the bus, the driver pulled away. Classic timing. Alright, time to hop into the van.
This one? Okay.
Like I said, the bus can't make it up there, the roads are too bumpy. So yeah, a van is our only option. The front seat is already occupied. We've been told to hop into this one, the other van's already full. Bro, after hours on that bumpy bus ride, they suddenly tossed us into a van from a completely different company.
और इस वैन के बाद मेरा
So yeah, we hopped into this big van and after a short drive, they just dropped us off in some random parking lot. To be honest, I only got about half of what they said. Something like, meet back here at 3:30. Right now it's exactly 2 p.m. So we've got an hour and a half, but no idea where we're supposed to go. Over there, horses, if you want to go horse riding. But we're not here for that, trying to find the trail to Kaindy Lake. I think it starts somewhere near where the horses are. But of course, it just started raining. And as always, I didn't bring an umbrella. Hey brother, did you catch what they were saying?
Yes, take a taxi.
Okay.
He'll drop us at 700 meters, and from there, it's a 300-meter walk.
For Kaindy?
Yeah, this is route for Kaindy.
For Kolsay, do we have to return?
Yeah, we gotta come here again.
So, how are we getting there? Taxi, and how much is he asking?
500 tenge.
Oh, that sounds good. Let's grab a taxi quickly then. Gaurav brother is from Bengal, and funny enough, we actually met him a couple of days ago while Shakti and I were grabbing lunch at a restaurant. So now, we're all just tagging along together. I can spot a few people from my bus over here. The scenery is stunning as always. Clouds drifting by, green grass, mountains in the back. Time to go. This is our taxi. Apparently, we've got a whole helicopter inside this van. You'd think it's for navigation or something, but nah, it's just for scrolling. Couldn't explain much about the lakes. I'll tell you more once I actually get there. Till then, y'all enjoy this view. There is no phone signal here. That's why all the drivers and guides are using walkie-talkies to coordinate. From here, we've got to start walking for the rest of the way. That taxi we took charged 500 tenge per person. There were 3 of us, so that came to 1500. Just give him 2000. To put that in perspective, that's about $1 per person. These 4x4 taxis keep coming and going in this area. You just hop in, pay the 500 and they drop you off at the parking lot. Anyway, just look at this view. Absolutely stunning. And it's lightly raining too, which is something I love. What a day, man. Just think about it. We kicked things off in Almaty city, surrounded by sleek buildings and busy business hubs. Then we rolled into those dry, rugged canyon landscapes, straight out of a movie. And now, we're in the heart of lush, mountainous terrain. It's actually cold here, crisp, refreshing, the kind that wakes you up. How's it, Shakti? Let me ask you something simple. Beach vibes or mountain views?
Mountains.
Of course. Beaches totally freak him out. Back in Bali, he was panicking like, what if I drown? What if a tsunami hits? Bro, if it's your time, it's your time. Ocean or mountain, doesn't matter. Anyway, these are the Tian Shan mountains. I mentioned them earlier in the video. A little fact about apples, yeah, they belong to this very region of Kazakhstan. Today's plan is to check out 2 lakes. First up is Kaindy Lake, then we'll head over to Kolsay. Kaindy is where we're off to right now, and Kolsay is just about 30 minutes drive from its parking spot. Oh, and technically there are 3 Kolsai lakes, upper, middle and lower. We'll probably just hit the one that's easiest to reach. Yeah, the more accessible one. By the way, there's something quite interesting about Kaindy Lake. I'll fill you in once we get there. Gaurav bro, how far is the lake from here? Any clue?
From where we started, it's barely 300 meters.
Oh, that means we are almost there. So Shakti, how are you imagining the lake nearby? Like calm and peaceful or spooky and mysterious? And Gaurav brother, you know the story behind Kaindy Lake?
Nah.
Don't worry, I'll tell you both and my audience at the same time. By the way, since we're heading downhill, it feels like a breeze right now, but look at the people coming back. They're literally panting, struggling to walk straight. Kind of feel for them. Hey, just got a glimpse of the lake. Let me tell you, the water's pure turquoise. Let's go, get a closer look. The interesting story behind the lake's formation is also to be told. It's well maintained, yes, appreciate it. Stream running right under the trail, and we're at a viewpoint now. First proper look at the lake. But yeah, it's pretty crowded here. Look at this, man, what a postcard-worthy place. I'm stunned.
Kaindy Lake.
This one is different, man. Not your usual lake. Bro, I was just standing there and out of nowhere, this lady grabs my hand and pulls me aside. Then this other lady explains she just wanted a photo with me. I was thinking if we broke some unsaid rule or something. She grabbed my hand like a strict school teacher. Hey, stand here for the picture. Guys, the crowd's getting thicker, so I won't be recording too much now. But yeah, it's story time, as I promised. This lake here, Shakti, you better listen up to. It's an interesting story. This place, believe it or not, it used to be a regular valley. Back in 1911, a huge earthquake hit this region. The quake triggered a landslide that blocked the river flowing through here, and just like that, the whole valley started filling up with water. That's how Kaindy Lake came to be, but here's the crazy part. Before the lake formed, there were spruce trees growing here. When the valley flooded, the trees got submerged, and they're still standing underwater, perfectly preserved. That's why it's called the Lake of the Sunken Forest. The water's so cold, it literally froze time down there. You can still see the tree trunks poking out from the lake. Looks straight out of a fantasy movie. I keep trying to imagine it, a sunken forest completely submerged in that turquoise blue water. The tree trunks poking out like frozen spears. It's fascinating. Birch is also found in India, especially in the Himalayas and regions like Sikkim. In Hindi, it's often called saral, which is considered sacred in Indian culture. By the way, here's an interesting little twist. Kaindy in Kazakh actually means abandoned with birch trees. So the place is literally named after birch trees. But the funny part, these aren't birch trees at all, they're spruce. The view's absolutely mesmerizing. But this guy in the blue raincoat was saying something to Shakti. No idea what that was about. Let's go ask him real quick. I think something's off. We were just clicking some photos, minding our business. Then this guy comes and asks, hey, wanna take a picture with my bird? I'll even shoot a drone video for you. Show them your wrist. Yeah, this is our religious thread or bracelet.
He was pointing at my sacred thread and then at my groin in a really uncomfortable and weird way.
He started making gestures toward his pants. Inappropriate.
That felt intentional disrespect to our religion.
At first, even I wasn't sure what was going on. But now I'm sure. It really seemed racially motivated. One thing I've really noticed, after spending a week here, people here are seriously racist as hell. After what I've personally experienced this past week, this place is not trying to generalize or something. There's a growing wave of hate against Indians, particularly Hindus. And it's no longer just digital noise. The internet's made it trend. And now it's translating into real-world hostility. Now, I've seen it, I've faced it, and it's just ugly. You can actually spot them in my lake footage, the dude in the blue raincoat and two girls with him. They came over trying to sell drone shots. Let me walk you through the full scenario again. First thing he asks Shakti, are you Muslim? Shakti goes, no, I'm Hindu. At that moment, I was off to the side, taking pictures. Show them. Show them. I must make this clear. This thread, this bracelet, it's deeply sacred in our culture. Then out of nowhere, he points at our bracelet and goes, is that for your personal pleasure? Do you put it inside your pants? I noticed Shakti's face. His expression changed instantly. As for those two girls, can't say what kind of business they were involved in besides the lake, but when he made that disgusting comment, they actually joined in. And all of this happening right beside a major tourist spot. It was disturbing, to say the least. Shakti is a really innocent guy. He is the kind of person who doesn't assume the worst. At first, he was just confused. Like, did he actually say that? He tried to convince himself maybe it meant something else, but a few moments later it hit him. Shakti actually realized that the guy was disrespecting him. And even then, Shakti just stood there, in disbelief. Like, how could something like this happen to a tourist? The worst part is, we didn't confront him. I swear, it's still in my head. Maybe I should go back and face them. That guy in the blue jacket. Those two girls, they were the ones responsible. I'm highlighting them again so people can see the actual face of racism. They're all doing some kind of business in the area, but what I can say is I've never experienced anything like this before. I swear to God, I've never experienced racism in my life, not even once, until now. I've traveled over 120 countries, and yet the only place I've faced racism, just a 3-hour flight from my home, Almaty, Kazakhstan. I won't deny it, the natural beauty is unreal. But I speak the truth, always. And truth is, a lot of people here carry a deeply problematic mindset. It's not just disappointing, it's disturbing at this point. You know, just last night, we had a taxi driver who completely lost it. And then he started shouting in Russian, screaming at us to get out. Indians out, and more I won't even repeat. It just pissed me off seriously. I'm quite done with this place, Shakti.
Yeah, me too. I mean, what happened, that was properly below the belt.
Maybe we should have confronted him. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that moment. Like, how can someone be that disrespectful? It just doesn't make sense.
Let me tell you, the only way to stay sane is to ignore it.
Ignore? I don't think so. Bro, how are we supposed to ignore that? He dragged our religion into it, our culture, and did it with the most vile gestures. That's not a joke.
We're just here for a few minutes. I mean, normal tourist stuff. Let's just protect our peace. Let's just forget it and enjoy the rest of the moments.
Nah, man, we didn't come here to be treated like that. We're here promoting their tourism, paying for every single tour. We're not clowns. Now, you want to say something on camera about this incident? Go ahead. The stage is yours. Say what you feel. No filters. What's your take on people in Kazakhstan who show hatred towards a specific race or community? Or the people we encountered recently?
I'd say those people are a disgrace to humanity and they are.
I'm telling you. I swear, I'll never forget that little jerk's face.
Leave it, man. Stop being so aggressive.
I'm telling you, I travel the world all the time. I've seen chaos, fights, even crazy situations, and I never get angry. But this was properly below the belt. And what was those gestures, man?
Gotta agree with you on this part.
I'm not gonna take a single bit of crap about my culture or my country. Alright guys, we're back to parking. I just picked up a raincoat, cost me about 2000 tenge or something like that. One more thing I'd like to add. While some locals here have been genuinely kind, warm and respectful, a few people ruined the whole experience for me. Honestly, this might go down as my worst trip ever. I don't even feel like continuing this video right now. My mood's completely off. And the way this played out, it's something that'll haunt me with disgust for a long time. I usually don't judge a whole country based on a few bad experiences because let's be real, bad people exist everywhere, but two back-to-back experiences in just 2 days, it really shook me, made me uncomfortable, felt disrespectful to my beliefs, and now I don't even feel like recording anymore. I know myself. I've traveled enough to know how much I can tolerate. Can't say the same about Kazakhstan though. I always try to give every country a fresh chance, a clean perspective, but this one hit different. Nothing I have experienced on the road has ever hurt me from inside like this did. My only real regret is that I didn't talk to him. Not to start a scene or anything, just to calmly tell him what he did was wrong. That disrespecting someone's culture like that isn't a joke. I should have asked him to own up to it, maybe even apologize, just so he'd think twice before doing it again. So yeah, that's the thing. We didn't take a stand for ourselves. This will probably stay with me for a long time. That regret of not standing up and saying something when it mattered. And then there's Shakti. This was his first time here. He hasn't traveled as much as I have, hasn't seen the kind of blunt or rude behavior in other parts of the world. For him, this was new. It hit harder. I feel responsible. I brought him here to relax, to experience the charm of Almaty, but instead, that ugliness, that racism took over, and it ruined what should have been something good. So yeah, all of that just makes Kazakhstan my least favorite country. Anyway, our bus has arrived, it's time to go. Kolsai Lake was the one place I was most excited about. Honestly, it's the reason I even came on this tour. But now, all that excitement has just worn off completely. What can I say? Bad experiences are part of life. And when you choose to travel the world all by yourself to every corner, let me tell you, these are the kinds of things you can't always avoid. It sucks, but it's real. 2 bad experiences in such a short span. That was new for me. If I manage to gather the energy, I might record a little more. But yeah, not sure how much effort I'd able to put from now. Anyway, let's move ahead. One more thing I want to make. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Calling out real issues, sharing valid perspectives, even disagreeing, that's all part of healthy dialogue as long as it's done respectfully. But there's a thin line between criticism and outright disrespect. Or worse, racism. I'm always open to criticism, as long as it's factual, makes sense, and comes from a place of reason. But those wild gestures, that mocking of our culture for no reason, that crossed the line. After the incident, we got back in the van and made our way to Kolsai Lake. It was stunning, peaceful, a place that almost makes you forget the noise. You can even rent a boat here to see the lake from a different perspective, and it's worth it. This was lower Kolsai. There's also middle and upper Kolsai lakes, but reaching them takes a long hike, several kilometers. We just didn't have that kind of time. Near the parking area, you'll also find some nice restaurants and coffee spots, all set against the backdrop of these incredible mountains. Soon, we were called back to the bus. Another 4 to 4.5 hours on the road, and by 11 pm, we were back in Almaty city. It's been 2 weeks since that day. I didn't record much after that. After spending another week in Kazakhstan, I've moved on, now traveling through its neighbor, Uzbekistan. Over the past few days, I've explored cities like Tashkent and Samarkand. I haven't filmed much yet, but I'll come back and I'll show you all of it properly in a new video. But for now, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.